Good morning. So I got a note on my WhatsApp line from an incredibly lovely mom of a 4-year-old and 2-year-old girls. And she says she's a single mom and she's absolutely exhausted. She's pouring love into her children nonstop. And it's really hard. And she's like, sometimes I feel really triggered when I do everything for them all day. And then it's like the slightest thing turns into this big tantrum. And I just don't always have it in me. And I know the obvious answer is I need to take more breaks and get away sometimes. But how? I'm a single mom. Help. So I left her this message, which I will now play for you.
So I know you said, well, the obvious answer is for me to get away, but I'm a single mom. I can't do that. So yeah, I would actually argue that the answer to get away is actually never the right answer for anybody. Think about it. If you were sitting in a chair all day working and that chair was just fundamentally not ergonomically correct, and then you were like, well, the obvious answer is to take breaks. Sure. But the fact of the matter is you have to sit in that chair all day long anyway. So the actual obvious answer to me is we got to get the chair ergonomically correct because you're going to be in it a lot. So is it better to be able to take tons of breaks and get outside? Sure. But the reality of your life, and that's my thing, is I'm obsessed with the reality of our life as a parent. And I don't like answers that you can't actually use. Getting away, I agree with you. It's not going to happen. It's not the right answer because then you get away and then you come back and you're like all stressed out and you're like, I just have to get away from my life again. Well, obviously that's not doable for you on a long-term basis. So what is doable? You have to find a way to have the work that you're doing on a daily basis regenerate you while you're doing it. You have to find a way to actually have the daily sort of nonsense, quote unquote, of your life actually feel soul replenishing. Because if you aren't doing that, then you're just going to leak out on a constant basis. So that means literally like getting them dressed, changing the diapers, making the food. All of it has to actually bring joy to you. Otherwise, you start your day and you've got like joy and love in your heart, and you want to be a great parent, and you set off with this certain amount in your battery, and then throughout the day it's just depleting and depleting and depleting. So that's just not a tenable long-term solution, right? How do you bring the joy? That takes a little bit longer to understand because part of what happens is when we don't know how to handle all of the ins and outs of the day, so to speak, then what happens is we don't have the skill sets for the challenges that we're meeting in the day. And that's the stuff that it does take me a while to teach you, but I can tell you, start by asking what's in it for me. Like when you're changing the diaper, instead of I'm just doing this for you and I'm giving it to you, what's in it for me? And try to go through your day actually getting some glimmer of that, okay?
She left me this response upon hearing the message, that it was the first time that she felt that anyone had ever understood and agreed with her values. And the first time someone had told her that, yes, getting away wasn't the answer. She said she wished I could feel the weight lifting from her chest for the first time around this issue. So here's the thing. I get it. For me, bedtime was my issue. I wanted to put my kids to bed so badly. I wanted to have this really sweet, wonderful time, and I would do it. And somehow it never worked. It was always like stretching out way past my comfort zone until the point where I would often wind up just raging. And I'm not proud of this. My early years of parenthood were so hard until I figured out that actually I needed to fall in love with what I was doing instead of think that I had done the right thing and now I could put it to bed. Like literally me parenting them, all of it. I just wanted to like get that check mark. I put in my time. I did it well. I was a nice mom. Pay me back with some downtime. And I get it. But that's not how this job works. It's just not. And it took me a long time to hack it and figure it out. And once I did, I created a 90-minute bedtime masterclass so that people could understand how to do this and actually feel great about yourself and actually genuinely love putting your kids to bed and actually get them to bed in many cases a lot faster. And if not, at least without the rage. So, you know what? I wish I could say at that time that that book, Go the F to Sleep, was just a joke for me, but it really wasn't until all of a sudden it genuinely was joy. And that's what we do with Transformation Team Project. We touch on every single part of your life, whether it's bedtime, siblings, another one that had me at my knees, meal times, getting out the door in the morning, screen time, anxiety, your kid's strong-willed temperament, or their incredibly highly sensitive self that you're just not sure you ever say the right thing about. All of those things are things that we can transform into genuine joy and love. And I just want you to know that because it took me so many years to figure it out. And I share it all with you. Okay? So for any of you who are ready to do this, just check out our course. Go to motherflippingawesome.com and check out our course for kids from 2 to 11. If you've got older kids, join me in the teen course. And if you're not ready for a course yet, but you just want to reach out and ask me a question on WhatsApp. You know I'll answer.